All right, welcome back to the stream. So today we're going to be diving into creating out a PND pad. So I'm going to create a PND pad, a PND bass. We're going to turn that into a loop that we can use in our tracks, in our productions. And so before we start, the PND pad, it's going to be an atmospheric pad. And this pad is going to feel live. We're going to make it sound slightly drunk, slightly sad, like a late night text that you're scared to send, pretty much. So let's dive right into it. Let's create the sound and let's do it. So I'm going to start off with dropping in two detuned oscillators into my sound design tool of choice, which is Reaktor. Been using this for a while, comfortable with it, and yeah, and hopefully I can teach you sound design too. So we're gonna name these oscillators oscillator 1 and 2, and we're gonna, as quickly as possible, I'm gonna get a sound going through these oscillators. So we're gonna choose two saw waves. So let's do two saws. Gonna make this bigger so it's viewable. Choose two saw waves. Okay, that's our first step here. Then I'm gonna detune one of them 8 to 10 cents, probably the second one. Let's move these around. And that's about 8 cents. Let's do 10. There we go. And so now I'm gonna hook them up as quickly as possible, get our sound going. So I'm going to have to mix these together because there's two different oscillators. And oscillators are basically the sound core. If you don't know what an oscillator is, that is basically our core of our sound. It is the, let's say, the sound generation device that generates our sound in our synthesizer. So this is our modular rack environment. We're doing the same thing, creating a synth. Oh, that was not it. So I'm going to move that to Reaktor because we are using it as a plugin, and we're going to hit play. We're not hearing anything yet because we don't have any gate input, so we don't have any input to track our input of our keyboard. So now we got the input. You can hear that little wobble. I'm going to put the sustain up. Hear that little like wobble in the sound. Hopefully you can hear that. And you can see the volume pumping. That's because I detuned the oscillators slightly to create that pumping sound. So you can hear that over time. It sounds pretty cool. Gives that like smoky feeling. So now I'm going to add a low pass filter. So we're going to filter our sound out. Oh, we already have one. Whoops. So I'm going to use that. And it's already on low pass mode right here. That's high pass. So highs shall pass. That's how you can remember it. And then lows shall pass. You can remember it here, just by the direction. So it's letting the lows pass because they're above, and now it's letting the highs pass. That's highs. And then lows. You can hear it here. And then this is band pass, which is center frequencies. That sounds pretty good too. We'll keep it on low for now. And I'll turn up the filter so we can hear more of the sound. Okay, so we got the basis of our sound. Let's add some slow LFO movement to it. I'm going to add it to the first oscillator. Usually that affects the sound more. So let's add some wave shape movement just slightly. Okay, so we got that. Let's do around 300 hertz. I'm gonna actually move my cutoff around for the filter. So let's do around 300. Doesn't have to be exact. Remember, it's never gonna be exact, even if you're recreating the sound in your own version of Reaktor. Every time you do modular synthesis or create sounds, it's gonna be unique to you. But you can always recreate or very similarly create sounds you hear in productions, and that's what we're doing today, recreating sounds that we've heard in productions for ourselves and for our own projects. So that's where the exciting part comes out, because you can make whatever you want. So there we go. So you can hear the LFO in the background. You can also hear the clashing between the two tones of the oscillators going back and forth. So the waveforms. So I'm gonna see if I can add some noise. Let's see. So bringing in a noise oscillator, or noise creator. Let's see. Turn that up slightly. Noise generator. Let me see. I want it to be very subtle. So it's choking the gate, it's choking the sound every time I play. Getting a slight smoke on top with that noise. So now, let's keep building this out. And PND pads aren't usually bright. They're usually like dark and warm, and they sound like they're happening behind a curtain. So we can replicate that. That's in your face. It's a little bit buzzy. You can turn up the FM. Let's do it. There we go. Get more of that behind the curtain sound that we're going after. So we've added our LFO, we've added our filter for movement. Not really modulation. We just want a little bit of movement, and you shouldn't notice it, but you should more feel it than notice it. If you get what I'm saying. Because I think I can feel it now in the background with the noise later, and we're getting that little bit of movement. So we're gonna add our final touches to this sound. I'm gonna add some reverb and chorus. So we're gonna go in a little bit of reverb, and that's gonna help us round out and finish off our song, or finish off our sound, I should say. Okay. So now we're getting somewhere. So that's good. So yeah, I like that. So let's put it in a little progression just to solidify our sound and see what it sounds like. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this. Always save your sounds. I'm just naming it arbitrarily, whatever. You can always go back and name it what you want. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this chord device that I like to use. You can use any chord device of your choice, but I like using this sometimes because I can just go ahead, write things in. Oh dang, that's loud. That is loud. My bad. Turn that down. There we go. Next, I'm gonna add in my next chord. So I'm just choosing some chords that would be good for this style. Okay. Good. I don't know if it registered that last one. There we go. Okay. We got the chord feel I'm looking for. Let's pull this in. Just put it on the grid. I might keep the sound. Let's let our thing play it for us, our DAW. Loop it. And I'm going to bring this part up here. Let's see if we mess around with the octave. I'm going to slow this out for a second. Let's layer that. And change our sound out. Just experimenting with some sounds. Okay, so I think I'm ready to add the extra next layer. This is going to be part of our pad sound. See, I had to layer it there because it wasn't exactly the way I wanted it to be. So that's a part of sound design. Just layering stuff, experimenting. And I'm going to build the last layer. And I'm going to put my BPM to what it needs to be. I think it'll be around here. Let's do it around 144. Let's speed that up. Okay. So now move on to the bass. Let's do a quick bass. Just gonna recolor this so we can tell the difference between the tracks and move on to the bass sound. Gonna sound like, okay, let's see. We don't need to start from scratch. We can kind of use what we've already made to kind of create that bass sound. So we want the PND bass to be something that's aggressive. It's soft, it's round. Sorry, not aggressive. It's soft, it's round, emotional. I'm going to start with a clean sine wave for this. No distortion, nothing fancy. So I'm actually going to pull back here. And let's go into... actually, I can use what we have. I'm going to just modify it. No. Let's do... Let's do another one. Okay. I've already saved what I had. Good. Okay. Let's go back in here. Got our basic components again. This should be much quicker. Just going to start off with a sine wave. Let me just check how I'm doing for time. Not too bad. Okay. So we're going to build this next part real quick. So let's do one oscillator here. Duplicate that oscillator. Oops. We'll call that oscillator 2. One is going to be a sine. But you zero them out. One is going to be a sine. And the other is going to be... Okay. Let's keep playing the track. Gets us in the vibe we're trying to create. So if we can create a nice, cool bass, that'd be nice. Let's fix this view. I messed it up. There we go. Okay. So I'm not gonna... Okay, we'll just convert this quickly into what we need it to be. So this... Oh, it's happening. Okay. So we got our first sine wave here. Zero that out, turn it to a sine wave. Second one, I'm just trying to figure out what it should be. We'll just do this. We'll do this one octave up. Okay. Yeah, one octave up. Still the sine wave. Add some saturation. So that would be driver. Okay. So let's see how that sounds. it sounds like a cooler pad, actually. Hold on. Let's make that sustain longer. I'm going to save that sound because I like it. Okay. Now I'm going to modify this sound to be the bass. So how we're going to do that is I'm going to remove the reverb connection first. Actually, let's just pitch it down. We got a nice bass with some distortion. Okay, let's save that. Okay, we got our bass. Okay. Let's get our drums. I think it'll help me carve out the rhythm that we're trying to go for now. It's not switching gears a little bit. Kind of got to fill in the parts as I go to get a full picture of what I'm creating. So we're trying to put these two parts together, basically. Should put the pad with the bass, just for a full loop. I think this kick will do what I need to do. Let me just make sure it's down all the way. And we're going to turn our metronome. Let's see. We need a obnoxious snare again. I think I like that one. Just get our beat going. So kind of building another layer in between so I can get our groove. What? Wait a minute. It's supposed to be a snare. What is going on? Okay, I like that. So let's see how we can extend that pattern. Okay, I'm just gonna add some hi-hats. Ah. Oh, excuse me. Too loud. Let's see that one more time. Use this one just to fill out some hats. Ah, too loud. It's a little slow. I think I know why. A lot of it is just timing, making sure your beats are lining up. And I can see that that one wasn't. So I'm going to go in. So it's more immediate. I'm going to take off this little bit of a trailing part and trim it off. There we go. Let's test that out. Okay, I think that's working. Don't know how much I like that. Okay, we're going to pull that back. And let's do it for another section. Okay, we're going to keep building this out. Okay. We got our parts. Time to add our final piece. Our little bit of other bass. I like that part, so I'm gonna make sure it repeats. Okay, so bass time. Oh, I don't know what to do with my sound. I think I saved it though, luckily. Let's see. Sometimes that happens, so it's best to be prepared. Make sure you save your sounds, or yeah. Time to get a bass sound. Let's make sure it's tuned. Hold on. Okay. Add some drum bus. Make that kick stand out a little bit more. It's probably my favorite tool for the most dramatic effect. Okay. I just need some kind of lead now. Finish this off. Oh yeah, bass. Okay. Let's capture that. I like to do it that way. No pressure with recording. Add some compression. Just check out what we're doing for time. Okay. Just gonna put that in the drums. Let me just see what channel that is. 41. Okay. Throw a limiter on this. Check my volumes. Got some utility. Already got that, so turn it up. Give it a little more dynamic headroom. Okay. And there we go. We've got ourselves a finished loop. Also a part of a track that we can use in our productions. Hopefully learn something in this session about sound design and how to use it and incorporate it into your music and productions. I'm Danny Xander. I'll see you in the next live stream. Let me know if you'd like to see what you'd like to see in the next live stream. And I do offer full sound design deep dives. Link in the description. I'll see you in the next live stream. Peace out and keep sound designing.